I knew a guy who played pretend, feel that he was near the end. His time was running out and he could feel the end of the road. Politics and talking trash, finding something else to bash. He always had an army of followed wannabes up his ass. When they drop down to their knees, understand the reality. It doesn't even matter what anybody ever really thinks.
And I hit record.
We are live. How's it going?
Not too bad.
All right. I know this week's flying by, man.
It is.
And also, I'm definitely going to be messed up now because now we're recording on a Wednesday instead of our normal Thursday recording. So now I'm going to be thinking it's tomorrow's Friday because we're recording today.
Yeah, and I'm going to put it out on Friday like normal, so.
Okay. So what you got going on tomorrow night?
Madeline's got softball.
More softball. Is she going to start having games on the regular on Thursdays now?
No, all these Thursday games have been makeups.
Oh, because of rainouts?
Yep.
Gotcha.
So they're still undefeated.
Still undefeated? That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Have I told you about what has happened with her games this year?
You said something about they did the mercy. They mercy ruled a team or two, I think, is what you said in the car.
So yeah, first game was a mercy rule. The second win was a forfeit because the team had dare graduation.
Okay.
The next week, they were down 12-6.
Oh, this was the pitcher win an extra inning or whatever, right?
Yes, she started the sixth inning, and they have a rule that at this age they can only go 5.
Gotcha.
And so they won that game, and then last night they had a 1-run game, and then last night they won by 2 runs.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So they're doing well. And how long of a season? Like how many games do they play in a season?
I think they play like 12 games.
It's pretty good. Yeah, CYC is 10 games is what it used to be. And I think they even at one point knocked it down to 8 games just because they ran out of teams to play.
Yeah.
so and our group was having to travel out to St. Charles to play. We had to go to a different county just to find teams to play.
Yeah. So they've got 3 other teams in the league. So they're just playing the same teams over and over.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, good Lord. The rivalries.
Yeah.
They're going to have kids that hate each other.
Oh, it definitely gets that way. They had one team that was kicked out of the league after last year because, their coach was horrible. So they said, look, you can't have her as a coach anymore. The umpires have complained. The other parents have complained. Find a new coach. So they found a new coach, and he's just a piece of shit. 'Cause we knew him from before.
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah. Well, his daughter played on another team. She got kicked off it. They joined this team. He took over as coach, and the parents hated him, so the team disbanded.
So who do you think is the real problem? Do you think it's the kid, or do you think it's the parent?
Oh, it's the parent.
I know. It always is. Youth sports, maybe it has always been this way, and it just wasn't really publicized as much because of all the social media, and it can be recorded on a phone now, and people are just capturing it a little bit easier now. But I'm curious, was it always this way back then? I tend to lean towards no, because I think I tend to lean towards the fact that most parents probably just didn't care that much.
Yeah.
They just really didn't.
Well,
nowadays, our parents care a lot.
Our parents would have to spend part of the game working in the concession stand.
Yeah.
But I didn't ever see my parents ever get into that situation where they'd be yelling at the umpires or referees.
Yeah. Well, it's good that they're still playing, but it's also sad that it's only 3 teams worth of kids that are playing.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it'd be tons and tons of teams, and you play a variety of kids, versus it's just sad that it's the pay to play is the model that all these parents think they have to do because it's all about keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
And it's a sad state of affairs. It's sad for those kids that want to play some more. I bet you they'd play even more than 12 games if they had more competition to play.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you get burnt out of playing the same teams over and over. Because really, what are you doing as far as, what are you, if you're not challenging, yourself or the team, who knows where you're going with it.
And we found that our team's been together for a while. And, we lost a bunch of pitchers, but we have girls that have stepped up. But the funny thing is these teams, we run rule them, so then they find someone that can pitch, and then they pitch against us every week. They use the same pitcher because they know that the pitcher is figured our hitters out.
Yeah. Well, that's just a matter of adjusting, I guess, on your guys' side of things, of figuring out how to beat that pitcher. That's the challenge at that point. So at least it's something challenging to do instead of keeping it boring. Because if you run rule, if you run rule, is that what they call it? Because you keep saying run rule. Because back in the day it was mercy rule, right?
Same thing.
Same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
But at least they'll be challenging that way. Because otherwise, you're not pushing the girls to try to get any better. You know? If you're going up against weak pitching, so you don't want to do that.
Yeah, but the flip side is these other teams aren't developing pitchers because
they're scouting for one that can do it, and then they can't find anybody else. Yeah, well, there's that. Yeah, it's a flip of the coin there. So
yeah, because we rotate pitchers. We have 2 pitchers go every game. First one goes 2 to 3 innings, and then the next one comes in and does 2 to 3 innings. Because it's rare we get past 5 innings.
Oh well, because my niece. Because she's the only one of the girls that play softball because Em has no interest in playing. But she has to go all the way out to Chesterfield to play. Yeah. She's got to go a long ways just to go play softball.
That's something we debated about. Like, do we go out to Chesterfield and play out there? I mean, it's closer for us. Mm-hmm. And there's more competition out there. But Madeline really doesn't want to leave her team because she's been with them for a few years now and she loves them.
Well, the question being, would the whole team be willing to go join up with the Chesterfield League of some kind? Has that been discussed?
Yeah, it has been discussed. I don't think our team is up to that level of competition because there are a few girls that aren't there, and then there's other girls that are soccer players primarily. Yeah. So we have games where we have 8 players in the field because there's a soccer game going on at the same time.
Yeah, that happens all the time. You're talking to the guy that when I coached basketball, we did some 3-on-3 until the other players showed up so we could play 5-on-5. Yeah. It's just like, I got 3 right now, man. We'll play some 3-on-3 ball until I get 2 more girls to show up.
Madeline loves it, though, on those nights because she plays the whole game.
Yeah, play the whole game and get extra at-bats, too. Yeah. We don't have to wait a long time, man. Yeah, I remember back in the day, you have so many kids on your team, you might get 1 or 2 at-bats at the most. Yeah. Because everyone had to hit.
Last night they had all 13 girls there. So I think it was 2 at-bats.
See, that's no good. That's no fun.
Yeah.
No fun at all. So
now that we've jumped in already, you drinking anything tonight?
Not tonight. No, not tonight. I didn't have anything cold. I haven't gone out to buy anything new. So yeah. No, not tonight. But yeah, I need to go grab something new. I know I need to do that.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to think if I have anything to report to you since I've seen you, because I saw you on Saturday, and I'm trying to think if there's anything to report as far as funny stories to share. And I don't think so. I don't think I do, except for the kids. The boys down to his last week of school, and then girls have 2 more weeks. And then how about you? You girls you guys are almost done too, right?
Well, I think they've got 11 days. I don't know. I don't keep track. They could tell me.
Oh my! Yeah, they tell me every day how many are left. They do not hesitate to do that.
So one of the school districts out here is done, I think, end of this week.
Oh well.
Okay. Ours has like another week and a half. They go into the beginning of June, I believe, and it's because they built in 6 snow days, and they used every one of them. Where the other school district out here started a few days earlier, and they had 2 snow days, and anything past 2 days was virtual learning. Okay. Our school wouldn't do the virtual.
Oh, they wouldn't do it?
No.
Nope. I'm wondering how much power the teachers have about that.
I don't know.
Because they're like, well, no, this is built into our contract that we have snow days, and I don't want to teach when the snow days is available to us because it's technically a free day off for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
I don't know how the teaching union works with that.
But it makes it hard right now for parents because a lot of people are still working from home, and we have 3 kids here that are fighting and looking for TVs to watch in the areas where we're working. So,
yep. Headphones or AirPods and tablets for all 3 of them for Christmas. Everyone gets their own thing. Just plug in, man.
The good thing is about most of our TVs, they have built-in Rokus, and the kids can pair.
Oh, the remote, the remote has the sound thing to it, right? Yeah,
or with the TVs, you can put the remote on your phone and then use your.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, use headphones that way.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. No, I'm just trying to think. No other. Oh, no. I I did something with my arm where I was feeling like it was dead, just dead arm all the time. Because my chair I have in here does not have armrests at all.
Yeah.
So when I'm working, I have nothing to lean my arm on. And it got so bad, I went to go see someone about it. She's not a chiropractor, but she's like kind of like a massage therapist, but not, because this is not a good massage. It hurts. Like I have a bruise.
Yeah.
I have bruises on me now from what she does. And she used one of those, she called it a Theragun or something like that.
Yep, we have one.
Jen has one. I don't like it because it hurts so bad. But the one the lady had that I went to today, had like a big rubber ball attachment to it versus Jen's. It doesn't have that. It's not the same thing. I think it was a little bit more gentler than what she's got. And man, she got me right on the collarbone, like right below the collarbone, and I guess whatever area is between your shoulder and the collarbone. I guess there's some muscle right there. What muscle is that? You know.
Is
that your lats? Well, lats on the back, right?
Yeah. Deltoid.
The deltoid's on the front.
I think so.
I couldn't, like, if you put your arms up to your side, like hands up from the police, you know, say, I didn't shoot. She had me lay on my back, and my arm, she couldn't push it down. Like, it wouldn't go all the way down.
Yeah.
So it's locked. It's locked. So she did whatever she did, and she put the gun on there, and it felt, as soon as something happened, my arm felt like it was like 1,000 degrees. Like, so much heat was going through there. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, that's all the nerves and everything in there just unleashing whatever it was. And finally, and then she took my arm, and it go flat straight in front of me, and then she lifted it all the way up to the sky like you raise your hand in class.
Yeah.
And then she put it all the way back down flat next to me, and all of a sudden you hear a big old pop, just a good pop, like a good crack.
Yeah.
Something good happened. I went, oh! It felt so good. And like, every now and then, you know, I know for a fact I got carpal tunnel. I mean, anyone that does, you know, any kind of work like we used to do, you're going to have carpal tunnel. It's part of the job to have it. But the dead arm has been relieved a bit, and I'm like just feeling 1,000 times better today. So that was a great adventure I had today. And she's just like, yeah, it's just something you're going to have to do. It's basically like a car. You have to maintain a car. We have to maintain yourself.
Yep.
Or every now and then, go in and do something like that. Because do you do the chiropractor thing, or what do you do for when you have something going on?
I just push through. I went
See, this one was bad enough to where I was like, it hurt the most when I was driving. Like, it hurt so bad just to drive.
Yeah.
The arm was just completely dead and numb.
I've done chiropractor a few times, and especially right after I hurt my back like 2.5 years ago. But after a while, nothing he was doing was making it better, so I just did the exercises. He said as long as I did the exercises, I was going to be fine. It's a load-bearing injury, so I stretch. I can do all my working out. I did end up going and getting the MRI done and getting a shot into it, but it's still the same.
Yeah. Casualty of the job, sir. Casualty of the job.
So, but yeah, we saw each other on Saturday for Fan Expo St. Louis.
We did. It was an amazing time. It was a great time. It was I'd mentioned to Jen one of the highlights of just going through the timeline of our day. I was like, not sure if Jay's kids have ever seen North St. Louis before. Maybe once they've been. I think you said they were really young when they saw it, but driving through North St. Louis is its own little adventure. Yeah,
they've been up there a few times for the cemetery just past you. So
and so, but like, what's so funny is like the day we got back, or later that evening when we got back, I saw a thread on Reddit. I have a thing on Reddit where it just pulls up St. Louis centric stuff. Yeah, and it was a guy stopped at Humboldt Avenue down in the city, and he's like, "Here, watch this. Tell me, St. Louis, what's up with this? Watch this." He stopped. Red light, right? Yeah. One car blows through. 2 cars, another 2, and another one right through the red light. Oh, he's like, "It ain't a suggestion, y'all."
I saw that. That was hilarious.
Oh my god, it's so funny, dude. I'm just like, really? Yeah. Come on, man.
It's almost like watching Vacation when they drive through St. Louis.
Don't stop. Stop. Nobody stop.
Gunshot.
But roll them up. It was awesome because it was back down at the convention center. Yeah. And
so the last couple times they had it, when it was Wizard World, it was actually in the convention center part. This was actually down on the football field in the dome.
Yeah. On the floor of the dome, which is really cool. That's really cool of them to do that. But my point being, what else is going on there? Yeah. There ain't nothing else going, so might as well, right?
No, monster trucks once a year.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. and maybe we'll get our XFL team back. I'm knocking on wood for that one, hoping that happens. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So I think I might actually try to go this time around because it looked like such a fun environment to go to.
Yeah, I really want to too, especially if they do the beer cup snake again. Did
What's
you see
that?
it? They, I don't think it was a Battlehawks game. I think it was in Washington, but they started down at the front row behind one of the field goals, and they started stacking up the beer cups, and it ran all the way up that whole section.
Oh wow!
You'll have to look it up. It was amazing. A couple hundred cups got stacked.
Oh my god! Well, it depends on how much they're charging for beer these days. Because did you see that thing that they posted about the PGA tournament or whatever it was?
No
event.
Yeah, for this weekend.
No, it was last weekend.
Okay.
I think it was last weekend. And beer prices at the event, it was $18 for a beer, a normal 12-ounce beer, $18, I think is what it was. I think that's what they said. It's a 12-ounce beer. But
I can see that.
regardless-
I can see that at a golf course because of the people that would be there would be willing to pay it more than your average person at a baseball game or a football game.
It was Mick Ultra. I'm like, that's not even a beer. That is not beer. Ugh.
It's an $18 water.
And it's $6 for a bottle of water. Yeah, $6 for a bottle of water.
Wow.
Just couldn't believe the prices on that. So yeah, I'm hoping it's an alternative for affordable family entertainment. That's what I'm always on the lookout for. Got to find some affordable family entertainment because these other sporting events just that ain't it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, the professional high level stuff. Yeah, you can't afford to take your family to.
Yeah, but no. Luckily, you were able to get us some press passes to get us in the door, and you brought your kids with us. And I guess it was their first con. I think is that correct?
It's the first one they were old enough to truly understand it because they've gone the first couple of years. It was Wizard World there, and I think Will was in a wheelchair or in a stroller, and Madeline went dressed as Supergirl.
Oh, nice.
So, but they loved it then because they got all the attention. People wanted pictures with them. Other people dressed up.
Yeah.
This was a different experience because they actually could appreciate everything that was there. Not just the people in costumes, but Madeline got Peter Tasami to sign a comic. Mm-hmm. They had an agenda of stuff they were looking for.
Yeah.
Will got to haggle with a couple of the vendors.
Yeah,
it was fun to watch.
That was awesome. I was like, there you go. Yep, never pay full price at the table. Never.
That's what I told him. I said, go up and just ask for it at $5 cheaper. And him being a kid. The thing was, with so many vendors there, he could have very likely just found a different vendor and just played vendors against each other because there were so many. And that was one of the first things I told him. I said, let's walk through everything first, and you can see it all. You can find the lowest price on what you want, and then you can bargain with them once you find the lowest price and what you want exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, it'd been a while since I've been, and it was great. I enjoyed myself so much. It was such a great time. But I think you and I back in the day probably could, like I said, I think I told you the same thing. We probably could have shut that place down back in the day and just kept enjoying things and finding stuff to do.
Yeah.
But I think you and I we put in probably a good 5-6 hours there, and I think I was pretty done. At that point.
And 5 to 6 hours seems to be my limit per day.
Yeah.
It probably would have been different if we would have gone and sat down in panels and watched things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I wasn't really prepared to do that. That's something I think next year when they come back, we're definitely going to do, though. Because Madeline got pretty upset that she didn't get to go see the Smallville panel.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen that too. Yeah. I thought that would be really cool to see. But maybe next year. They're big. They're big time on the circuit now.
Yes.
So I'm thinking it wouldn't be the last time, but. That was the one part it's always fascinating to me in regards to seeing, the Hollywood talent or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. And
how back in the day it was like, oh my God, look who it is. And now I'm just like, okay, that's kind of cool. It doesn't do anything for me,
Yeah.
Would I like to see Kevin Smith, do his podcasting live? Yeah, of course. Just because he's an entertainer, though.
Yes.
It's not just because he goes up there and like, ooh, look at me, and I'll sign an autograph and get a picture with me. No, he'll actually sit there and talk and entertain. Versus everyone else that's there. I mean, Michael Rosenbaum would if he did his podcast there, but I don't think he was doing that. I think he was just.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But otherwise, everyone else that's there, it's cool. It's cool to see you, but it's not. You're not going to knock my socks off anymore. I'm at that age where I'm like, nah, that's not what I'm there for, to be honest with you. Kind of cool to see it, but
yeah. And it was fun to walk through where all the celebrities were and be like, oh, look, there's Chubbs from Happy Gilmore. The kids appreciated that. But every time I went by, Kevin Smith wasn't there. He was probably the hardest guy to get.
Yeah. Well, I think they kept him behind the curtain kind of thing.
They did, but there wasn't even lines. There wasn't even lines when we went by him.
Yeah. So that part was kind of cool. They had a ton of voice actors. That was kind of really cool to me to see a lot of the voice actors there. Yeah. And seeing Nolan North, seeing him was really, really cool. Yeah. But not actually going and talk to him, because I don't think that's something that you and I have ever done. Have you ever actually paid for the line to go get an autograph and a picture with anybody? I did back in the Chicago days, like 20, 25 years ago when we'd go. Okay. Like I got Jeremy Bullock, who played Boba Fett. Okay. But I think I paid $20 for that. Yeah. And now I don't even know what it costs nowadays, to be honest with you. Most of the beginning ones are like $40. Man. Yeah. Inflation. Yeah. So like if you wanted a Kevin Smith autograph, I think it was $80 to $100, and then you have to pay extra to get a photo with him. Oh wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is another income stream for them, so more power to them. I'm not going to begrudge anybody, and some people, especially for the voice actors that like people don't recognize. This is a chance for them, like for people to see them and talk to them and hang out with them, and then people that aren't really doing much anymore. Like Lou Ferrigno's big on these circuits. What else is he doing right now? So. And it's like every time Michael Rooker goes, I'm like, God, his income stream. This must be like a big, big piece of it, to be honest. Because he's at every single one. Well, and a lot of these at the Fan Expos do all of them. So like they're every 2 or 3 weeks they're in a different city doing another con. Yeah, and they can do it for a really long time. I mean, that's not going to go away. That's for sure. So I did have one gripe, and for what used to be called a comic book convention, there wasn't a lot of comic books. Thank you. I was actually just about to bring that up, because there just wasn't any. There was a grading station. Don't know if you saw that when we were walking around. They had a place to get your books graded, and there was the one you pointed out that was doing the trades. You had a big shop of trades, basically, and then there was another booth that had some floppies that were kind of cheap floppies, but they also had a booth that it was all stuff that was in plastic. I'm talking about the hard, like what I want to call it, slabbed. Yeah, exactly. Graded stuff. And those books, they had a short box full of it, and they said like in the short box, every book in this box is like $40 to $100. I was like, good God. Yeah. I mean, it's cool that it's available, sure. I just can't imagine a lot of guys going to that show saying, I'm here to buy $100 books, a bunch of them. You know what I mean? I don't think at a show like this, but I continually compare this to Kansas City, because I've been to that twice in the last year. Yeah. Kansas City had a lot more comic book vendors. Just boxes of floppies, a lot of graded stuff, and then a lot of places with trades. So like the one that was there that had the trades, they were in Kansas City. And I bought from them the last 2 times I was there. So I miss that aspect of it. Going like sitting at a booth for 20 minutes just digging through a box to see what I can find. And I really wish they could get vendors to do that. I just don't know. I don't know if it's them or if they don't want to come to St. Louis. That, or I wonder how much of a cut they take, or do they have to buy into their space? They buy into the space. See, and I'm curious how much it costs to buy into your space. Because I was even wondering, like, a group of podcasters getting together for a weekend and splitting the cost and doing like live streams from the con. But I would imagine you'd have to spend a couple $100 to do that. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's a matter of, you'd think of it as an advertising source, though, if anyone stops by. But, I mean, there was, I know what you're talking about. There was, I think it was called Front Row Podcast was the one that was there. but it didn't really move me to go check out their podcast or anything like that.
Right.
So it's a big gamble to see if you can actually get any traction with it if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I'm going to be more prepared next year. When I went to the last one with a press pass, I was able to interview Napoleon Dynamite for a couple minutes because he didn't have a line, and I had equipment with me that I could do a mobile and record it. And I wasn't ready for that this year. So, and especially with my kids being older at this point, I think it'd be a lot easier for me to pull that off. And then I'd have Madeline there to take pictures for me.
Yep. Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was awesome as far as seeing the kids enjoy it. I thought that was really cool. Watching, just their eyes light up. Oh my God, there's so much here to absorb because there's something there for everybody. Even if you weren't there looking for comic books, you had your Harry Potter tables, and if you weren't there for your Harry Potter stuff, you were there for your prints. My God, so many different artists there that do their original artwork, and they can sell you prints. Now, you say there wasn't a lot of vendors there for buying, mainstream comics, but there actually were quite a few. I'm guessing self-promoted and self-published creators there.
The artist alley type stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But
so it was cool to see that back.
Even compared to Kansas City, there was a lot more of that type of stuff there. But Kansas City's been around for 20 or 30 years now, so they've been able to build up a big following for it.
Yeah. I think there was quite a big crowd for us, though, man. The St. Louis one was no joke. I thought the crowd was pretty significant.
Yeah, it was pretty big.
Okay.
But
I'm thinking in comparison to what you were dealing with there.
In Kansas City, the show was probably twice as big and twice as many people.
Oh, my gosh.
Saturday was really crowded there.
Yeah.
But apparently it wasn't as big as it had been pre-COVID.
Yeah, well, the guy I talked to, one of the artists I talked to, was talking about, he asked me if I was there Friday, and I was like, no, I didn't come down the day before or anything like that. And he's just like, yeah, it was dead. And I was like, ooh, that's not good. Never good when it's dead. So that makes you question whether or not they'll do a 3-day pass event next time, or maybe they'll just cut down to Saturday and Sunday.
Well, I think just the general thing is for them to do 3 days, and with Fan Expo doing it for the first year, they'll probably adjust. I don't think they'll take away that first day, but they might try to do more incentives to get people to come.
Yeah.
So maybe next year we go down for the first day and try to do interviews and pictures, and then go Saturday.
But Saturday's the day to go for the fan or the fan interaction. Talking with other fans that are there. That was the best part. The cosplayers are always so fun to me because I enjoy the art craft. I enjoy the fact that they put in so much time and effort. It's just fun. It's the fun of pointing out who's who and seeing what, like you made the point. There's no Moon Knights, and so you spend the rest of the con going, well, there's got to be one Moon Knight here. Let's see if I can keep my eye out for it.
Which we saw right before we left, but we didn't get a picture of.
You did? I didn't even see it. No, I didn't see a Moon Knight.
Well, I'm pretty sure they had their back towards us, and they didn't turn around, but I was watching. I think it was a Mr. Knight costume.
Got you. So, as far as the con, give me the thing that you were impressed the most by, your most favorite thing, and then your most negative thing that you take away from it.
All right. My favorite thing was the cosplay. Just seeing the different costumes, just how creative people can be in making those. You pointed it out in your article, the toothless one. Mm-hmm. That was so cool, and incredible. Just here and talking to them about it was awesome.
Yeah.
Downside, like I said, the lack of comic vendors. I really was hoping I could go in there and do some digging and find $5 trades or even cheaper than that. So those were the two, the plus and the minus. What about you?
The interaction, but the plus on mine is definitely the interaction amongst the fans and also the creators. Because it's just that one-on-one opportunity you don't get, and it's just you're amongst your peers in a sense where you're like, hey, we all love this stuff. This is what we really love. And
and to that point, I mean, there were people that were in costumes that if you saw them outside of a con, they probably would have gotten made fun of. But they're there, and it's like a safe space almost, and anyone can be whoever they want there.
Yeah, and even if it makes you personally uncomfortable to see something that's kind of really odd, you go, we're at the con. It's what's supposed to be. Yeah. You know what I mean?
More power to them for doing it.
You're expecting that to happen there. So,
yeah, more power to them for trying.
And then my most negative thing, I think I'll reiterate what you said, was the lack of deals for comics. Where when I'm going to a con, I'm looking for vendors that are trying to offload a lot of product, and you paid your price of admission to get the good deal, and something that I don't want to buy from Amazon, I don't want to buy from eBay, I want to support small shops and small businesses. But in order for me to do that, you got to make it worth my while. You got to make it worth it to me. Even if you can't beat them on price point, beat them on volume. Going, hey, I can't beat what they're doing as far as, hey, you can buy this book from Amazon for $15, but if you buy 3 books from me, and I'll give you a discount. Stuff like that.
Yep.
And bundle or package a certain way to give me the incentive to want to support a small business, which is, I'd rather do that than give my money to Amazon, right? Just to help out a shop. But it just, like you said, it was non-existent. It really wasn't. I did not, from a toy standpoint, from a comic standpoint, there just didn't seem to be a lot of really good deals. I know Will was able to get a couple toys a little bit off, but I mean, I don't know if you did it afterwards as far as homework goes to see if you could have found it cheaper anywhere else. I don't know if you bothered to do that, but still.
So the Transformer he bought was on his eBay wish list that we sent out for Christmas and his birthday, and it was twice the price.
Oh, it was twice on eBay?
Or not eBay, on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
But it was from a vendor.
He ended up getting a really good deal then, is what he got.
Yeah, he did. And great. I think he did on the Star Wars figure, too. The Star Wars figure you can't even find most places, so... Yeah.
Which, that's the thing I really loved about the con was the exclusives.
Yes.
I really liked those exclusives. That was really cool. I'm still kicking myself about that Wayne and Garth one.
Yeah.
I really wanted that top, man. That was really cool.
Yeah,
but,
and Madeline bought that the Son of Superman book for $30 with the exclusive cover. 1,500 of them made.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And who wrote it? Did you pop it open and see who wrote that?
I don't remember who it is now.
Okay.
Dang it.
It'd just be interesting if she were to get it signed,
Yeah.
Does that even, I put that on a slab, maybe, slab that book and then get it graded. And if you get a signature, does it push it up in value? I know that's not what she's getting it for, but it's the experience of doing all those things to go, look what I did to this one little product that's now really unique is what I'm trying to get at.
I'm pretty sure it's Tom King.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So, but it's good. It'll get more. I think I'm hoping I can get maybe my kids to go next time.
Yeah.
I think they would enjoy the cosplay, if anything, just to see all that stuff. It's just not their world. They don't get blown away by this stuff. They're not collectors of any kind of anything, except M collects Funkos. Yeah. And like you had to deal with your littlest one, it's a matter of slow down. If you're going to be overwhelmed by everything, you're going to want everything. Yeah. And you just can't get everything. That's the problem.
Yeah. One thing we did see there was a lot of Doctor Strange costumes.
Tons.
And then
can you remember your favorite one, though? I have a very specific one I love the most.
The one that was holding the Darkhold and had the dark fingers from holding it.
Oh, you liked her? Okay.
I did like
that.
See,
me? I enjoyed the amalgamation of Doctor Strange and Miles Morales, merged into one. I thought that was incredible. Yeah. It was so cool to see that. So yeah, really cool.
There's pictures of both of them on the website.
They're okay. Yeah, awesome.
But in my head, I dubbed that one Miles Morales, Sorcerer Supreme.
Nice. So nice. Look at you. You're a professional at what you're doing. You're segueing into Doctor Strange. You want to jump into it?
Sure. I took notes from Toner on segues, so.
Oh, there you go. Nice. See me? I go, all right, I'm done talking about that. Let's talk about this now.
Yeah.
But so we're a little behind. We're a little behind the as far as when we're getting it out, as far as our thoughts on it. Mm-hmm. You give yours first, because I think you'll probably be a little bit more poetic the way you're going to say it versus what I'll say about it. So you the floor is yours.
So I liked the movie, but it didn't blow me away. I walked out with the same feeling I had with Black Widow, where I was like, I enjoyed it. It was a good 2 hours, 2:10, whatever it was. But I wasn't just bowled over by it. So like when I left Infinity War, Endgame, it was No Way Home, I was like, that might have been one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. This one, I'm just like, that was fun. There were things I liked a lot in it. There were things I was just like, okay, I can see why they did it. Not necessarily what I would have done. I love seeing the Sam Raimi aspect, the corny horror aspect of it, which is something we hadn't seen in Marvel. Overall, I'd probably this is middle of the pack for a Marvel movie, which is still a good movie, but it's not one that if it came on, I would be like, oh, I'm sucked in. I'm going to have to watch the rest of it.
Because, do you ever do rewatches of the first Doctor Strange? Is that something that you watch, just go, hey, you know what, I've been in the movie, I'm going to go watch that first Doctor Strange movie?
No, I've seen it a few times because we've done rewatches of the whole thing once or twice. I thought it was better than the original Doctor Strange, but I think it was more for the non-Doctor Strange stuff. Okay. Seeing the Illuminati, trying to figure out which universe we're in, seeing Bruce Campbell sell pizza pops.
Yep.
Or pizza balls.
Yeah. Because Papa Pizza, wasn't that his name?
Yes.
Papa Pizza or something like that? Okay, yeah. So, I'm glad, actually, I'm glad you and I don't ever review things right away. Because I like to stew on them for a little bit and really go back and think of whether or not I need to have another watch of it to really appreciate it, or I need to watch it again because that's how much I enjoyed it, and I want to really soak it all in. Yeah, because
if we would have talked about it right after seeing it, I would have been like, oh, this was a really good movie. But that would be recency bias, and once I get there thinking about it, like the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, yeah, this wasn't my favorite.
No, because my review of it, it's meh. It's a movie. Yeah. It's very, very average Marvel movie. I put it in the echelon of Eternals, where there were aspects of Eternals that I liked, but it's not my favorite. Eternals is probably one I probably will never watch again. I just don't need to. I don't think there's any continuity to it that I really need to go back and revisit to really enjoy the universe as a whole. And I kind of lumped that in there with this one. So there's cool. No, go ahead.
All right, I was going to say that's kind of how Dark World is, but then if you think about it, what they did in Endgame kind of makes Dark World a little more important because of what they added to it. So I wouldn't rule out not watching one of these movies again because something down the line is probably going to pop up and you're going to be like, all right, I'm going to have to go back.
I might. It's just a matter of it. I don't know. I just don't think I'd sit down and want to watch it for enjoyment. It wouldn't be for enjoyment. It would be for homework to try to enjoy something else down the line. Yeah. So that's kind of where I come up with the difference there. And there's aspects to it I liked. There's aspects to it I don't like. America Chavez, people were just glowing about her, and I was like, she was okay. There's nothing that she did that upset me or that blew me away either. You know what I mean? So it's okay.
I think it's with her. It's more the potential what we could have down the line. Yeah, because I really liked her in the movie. I don't know a lot about her, so it made me curious enough that I might go try to find other stuff she's been in than Young Avengers.
Yeah. And then a review I heard just the other day actually on it, and of course, this on YouTube when you watch a review, they're doing it like day after, right? Or day of when they see it. But this reviewer actually he did the same thing. He let the movie sit with him for a little bit, and he made some really good points that I'm like, you know what? I think you and I are on the same exact page. That the Illuminati was your clap moment where the whole audience is like, because we get the Xavier, we get the Xavier reveal with him in the gold wheelchair, the gold. That matches with the
it was your Andrew
in the cartoon.
It was your Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire moment.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, we all wanted to see, Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. That was amazing to see. Yeah. But did that? And the thing I'll take away from the other viewer was did this cheapen what we need down the line? Because we don't get that big reveal with Mr. Fantastic in his own movie. Right. And we don't get to see Professor X in the gold wheelchair in his first MCU movie, Which was it worth it?
That the Professor X wheelchair thing, was that what I was talking about a few weeks ago? The thing from the 90s that you would geek out over?
See, I said it too. I did the theme. They played that theme for a second.
They did.
I was like, I did it. Yeah. But yeah, no, I just don't know if that cheapens it. I mean, at least we got the payoff from the What If with Captain Carter. That's a nice little payoff to saying that you spent your time watching the What If cartoon. But
I did wonder if that's the same Captain Carter, though. Because they never really...
So it could be anybody, right?
They never really said which Earth she came from in that, so... Yeah. But that is one thing I was disappointed in, is I was hoping for more payoff of What If. Like when the zombie Doctor Strange, I was hoping was from the zombie universe. They went there and had to battle him. I don't know. I wanted more of it to tie in.
Yeah, I just don't know if that 10-minute clap scene was worth it. You know, the 10-minute was introducing the Illuminati in this film. It's a question of, it makes me question, is Doctor Strange a strong enough character that they had to pull tricks like this in order to get fans hyped up about this character in this movie? Because I also go with the fact that you kind of cheapened what happened in WandaVision a little bit by making her his main villain in this. And I'm like, well, Wanda's not really a villain in my book. She's just not. She's a tortured soul, a little bit, you could say, I guess. But it also lends the question, does Doctor Strange have a strong enough background in the comic form with strong enough villains to say, okay, he deserves his own solo movies and his villains can carry the solo movie with him? And that this movie proves to me, no, he doesn't. And I'm not familiar enough with his comic to really say that. But if this is my example of what they're doing, you kind of had to pigeonhole Wanda into being that, and now the question is, what do you do with her character? Where do we go with her? Because now you had the temple smashed down on her, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure, of course, we can write our way out of it, but is she now going to be the big bad, for the whole MCU?
So, as far
is that
as
where you want to go with that character?
Right. I think so. If you think back to Avengers Disassembled in the comics, she was the bad guy for the Avengers for that arc, and that was because of all the mentally bad things that happened to her over the years. I think where this misses with her is it felt rushed. If it was more of a slow burn, even if they would have waited till halfway through the movie for her to turn, I think it would have played a lot better. Because the last thing I expected was, oh, I'm the bad guy. She says that almost right at the beginning of the movie.
Right, yeah. But she tries to make you sympathetic to her because of everything she's been through. Because, I mean, that's what WandaVision was to me. WandaVision was being sympathetic to a person that was grieving the loss of someone she loved. Right. Right. So, I just don't know if this movie cheapens everything that they achieved with that show. So I guess I still need to stew on it a little bit. Yeah. And
so the other thing,
it sounds like does it sound like I'm trashing the movie? Because I'm trying not to. No, I don't think it's a bad movie. No, because there's things I can pull from it that I thought were amazing, like the when they're falling through the multiverses, when they go through the paint universe, that was really cool. Yes, it was. And then you have the music fight scene, where you have the two strangers fighting each other and they're using the notes to, basically throw daggers at each other. So that was so original and so unique. I was like, that's really cool.
So both of those things you just mentioned were things that Aaron complained about. Okay. And so it made me, hearing you say this, because I disagreed with her too. Is it something the general audience maybe wouldn't appreciate the same level as a comic book fan, watching them go through the different multiverses and seeing the cartoon one or the paint one, and then seeing the music fight, because it was a creative fight. And
it's so different, because I don't want to see the same thing over and over. Right. You know what I mean? So I want to see new things.
Do those things miss because the general audience isn't comic book fans that knows the history and appreciates these different things we're seeing?
Or they're not rewatching these movies over and over again like we do, and are so invested in it, which the comics help us be invested in it. I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good question to ponder and ask, if we would have other people on the podcast that are not big time, comic nerds, to say what were things that you pulled away from it and see if they actually did enjoy it. Because for me, like I said, the Illuminati though. When we see the Illuminati, what did the general audience even know really why they should be hyped up about that because of how cool that was in the comics to see it?
Yeah, I think to a degree, because you see Peggy Carter back. I think the general audience could appreciate that, even if they might not understand why she's Captain Carter. Mm-hmm. The general audience probably knows Mr. Fantastic from those horrible Fantastic Four franchises that we've already had.
Yeah.
I think Black Bolt missed. Although
I will say his death was pretty awesome. That was another like.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah.
But no one knew who Maria Rambeau was.
No.
And I said, well, that's Monica's mom that was in Captain Marvel. And they're like, oh, I guess that makes sense. I'm like, well, if you know that Monica is Captain Marvel for a while in the comic books before she has like 37 other names, you appreciate it more.
Yeah.
But while seeing the Illuminati was cool, they went out quick.
Yeah, they did. They went out real quick. And I also, just being a commenter, I wanted my original Illuminati. They didn't have everybody in it that was supposed to be in it. They didn't have Iron Man. He wasn't there.
So there were...
Not Banner. It was T'Challa. I thought T'Challa was... Yes. No, T'Challa, right?
T'Challa was...
Namor.
Yeah.
See, we could have been introduced to Namor. Because I think they need to get him introduced in there at some point, right?
Yeah, well... Was T'Challa even part of it, though? He was there for the first meeting, and didn't he walk out because he didn't agree with what they were doing?
I think maybe you're right. I'm trying to remember here.
So the original rumors for the movie was Tom Cruise was going to play Tony Stark.
Yeah. As
the superior Iron Man. So more of a bad guy version, which would make sense, but apparently his schedule wouldn't work out with when they were filming. Mm-hmm. The other thing I heard was we might have gotten Michael B. Jordan back as a Black Panther from this reality.
That would have been so cool.
That was an early rumor, but nothing ever came of it. But there's still rumors that he might show up in the next Black Panther movie, and I don't know how they could possibly explain that.
Multiverse, but that's the when you start playing with the multiverse, man, I'm telling you, it's your bailout is basically what it is. But no, it was Namor and Iron Man. Those were our two characters that should have been in it that weren't. But Doctor Strange was part of the Illuminati as well. He should have been up there with them.
But they did explain that their Strange had used the Darkhold and become corrupted by it, and Black Bolt blew his head off. Yeah, basically, yeah. So, yeah, no. So, like I said, there's things I really enjoyed about it. I don't know if Doctor Strange is Benedict Cumberbatch plays him wonderfully. I'm a huge fan of it. Yes.
Of his portrayal. Wong, I could watch Wong all day long. I think he's great. Yes. He's basically becoming the Coulson of the MCU is what I read recently. Where he's going to start popping in almost.
I can see that. Because, he showed up in Shang-Chi.
Yeah. And so... I just don't know if he needs his own solo movies. I just don't know. He's such a great character, and Cumberbatch is such a great actor. You want to get him in the MCU as much as you can. I'll take him as much as I can, right? I just think he works better in the team-up movies where he's not having to carry it. Because someone made the comment, there isn't a whole lot of Doctor Strange in this Doctor Strange movie. And I was like, I try to think back. Like, no, he's in it a lot, but I get what you were trying to go with, right?
Yeah, but you could technically say that about Steve Rogers in Civil War. Because there were so many other people in it, too.
Yeah.
I think Doctor Strange can pull off his own movies, but I think they need to be a little less ambitious than they were with this one.
Yeah.
I get why they want to do the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
But if you focus on... I thought the first one was fine with him battling... Caecilius, is that his name?
Oh, Caecilius, yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't a big-time villain, but it worked out perfect. And they were setting up something big with Baron Mordo.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know if they're going to go back to it now because they jumped to this big-scale event. Maybe because they don't have an Avenger movie to do something like that.
The question being, are we building towards that? Are we going to not see? Because, like we said, it took 10 years to get to the big, the big movie. Are they going to take another 10 years to get to another big event like that?
Which they could.
Avengers movies.
Well, which they really could, because they've set up multiverse now on 3 different properties with Loki, Spider-Man, and this. Yeah. He's going to go back into the multiverse apparently because of the post-credit scene with Charlize Theron as Clea.
Yeah. Which, were you familiar with her character before?
A little bit. I'd known of her.
I had to look her up. I had no clue who she was supposed to be.
I was pretty sure who she was when we saw it, and I looked it up. And I know Clea. She's a love interest for Doctor Strange. She's Sorcerer Supreme at one point, I think, even in the comics. But it brings us back to Dormammu because that's his daughter. I think I read that someplace.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then the third eye. What's the significance of the third eye and what we saw there at the post credit? I don't follow. Like, is the Doctor Strange that's in our 616 universe really not our Doctor Strange?
No, I think it's more. Even though Wanda destroyed the Darkhold, there's still something in him of it.
Okay.
Because the Doctor Strange from What If had the third eye, and he was corrupted by the Darkhold trying to find Christine.
That's what I'm trying to figure out what's going on, because, like you said, Clea's supposed to be a love interest for Strange, and we'll move on from Rachel McAdams. Move on to her, but
so that was one thing that I read about this movie that I didn't necessarily pick up on, but the strangest story in it was trying to find his place to be happy. And everything they've shown is him still pining for Christine Palmer. Is that her name? Mm-hmm. He's still kind of pining for her. He goes through reality. He gets closure from the 838 Christine Palmer. Mm-hmm. And now he's going to move on. And that was the significance of him fixing the watch at the end by hand instead of using magic to fix it, was he's putting his life back together.
Yeah, I get that. That's good. That's a good call. That makes total sense. So I just I don't know where we're gonna go from here with his character, but again, I haven't really ranked it with other Marvel movies, but I put it at the tier of a Eternals movie, towards the bottom. It is towards the bottom for me, but not bad. That doesn't mean bad. It just means meh.
A towards the bottom Marvel movie is still higher than a lot of DC movies.
Although I will say, what's up, Doctor Strange, with y'all stealing a starfish guy from Starro from Suicide Squad? We needed our one-eyed monster to fight. I was like, that's a bit on the nose, guys.
Well, he is an established multiverse character in Marvel Comics, but they just couldn't use his name, whatever it was.
I was like, but still, too soon. We just had that in DC.
Well, technically, Marvel beat him with it because it was in What If.
Oh, it wasn't What If?
No,
Suicide Squad still came out before that.
They're pretty close in the timeline. I think it was both last August.
I thought Suicide Squad came out the summer before, and I thought What If was more in the... Wasn't that in the spring? No, the fall time?
I think they were both last summer.
I don't remember.
Suicide Squad came out last August. I know that.
But then I watched it way after everybody, so yeah I guess maybe it could have been that case, but... Yeah, no.
Because in the first episode, when Sharon Carter gets pulled into the portal, that thing grabs her and pulls her in.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, I guess the biggest thing, I guess the last question is, do you think Krasinski could pull off Mr. Fantastic? Were you okay with his performance?
I was okay with it in the little bit we got.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he did. I don't think they gave him enough to really sway me one way or the other.
I think he's a good enough actor that he can pull it off no matter what. And I think with Mark Webb leaving Fantastic Four and they have a director opening, I have a feeling they're going to be like, look, you can star in it and you can direct it.
Oh, wow. That'd be really cool. That'd be super cool.
And that might be their way to get Emily Blunt in as Invisible Woman.
That would be, there you go. Get the fans what they want that way, right?
Yeah.
So, cool. Yeah. Only other, I want to move off of this real quick, but keep on Marvel for a second. The She-Hulk trailer. What'd you think of that?
Oh, I loved it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on the opposite end. I was not impressed at all. I'm like, it just didn't do anything for me, man.
So
it really didn't.
I think they're going to go for the Peter David She-Hulk of like the 90s, where it was a lot more lighthearted.
Okay.
She was Deadpool before Deadpool, where she would break the fourth wall and talk to you in the comics. So I think we might. I don't know if we'll get necessarily that, but it's going to be a lot more lighthearted. The effects, the way she looked wasn't the greatest, but I think they'll probably fix that up a little bit, especially if people are complaining.
I think you'll get a cleaned up version for sure before it actually gets released.
You'll get your Sonic the Hedgehog treatment on her.
Yeah, right. And I think you'll know what was most disappointing to me, but I guess they're saving it for me for when I actually watch the show itself. But they could have teased it for me. Yeah, I needed a little bit. I needed it just a little taste. It would have made me like the trailer so much more.
Yeah.
I was watching the trailer the whole time waiting for that. That's all I wanted from it, and I didn't get it. So maybe that's why I'm biased on it and saying I don't like this because it didn't have what I wanted.
Yeah. I was happy we got to see Tim Roth as Emil Blonsky again. Yep. You see Hulk. You see a brief clip of Titania, which is going to be like her arch nemesis, I think. So it gave us just hints of what's going to be there. Yeah. And I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
Okay.
I think it looks less of a train wreck than Miss Marvel right now.
I'd see. I haven't watched anything from Miss Marvel. I guess I did see the trailer. I just don't maybe I remember it very much. I'm just not excited for either one of these properties. To be honest with you, I'm just not hyped for them.
I was really excited for Miss Marvel when they announced it. She's a really cool character, but the way they seem they're doing it, they're changing a lot. She's not going. I don't think she's an Inhuman. Mm-hmm. She's got the quantum bands that Quasar had as the source of her power. But I think they're trying to do that to tie her more to Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Rather than just being a fan
that makes
of her.
sense. Doing it that way.
Yeah. So
we'll see. We'll see when it comes out. It's not like I'm not going to watch. I watch all of them. I just don't watch it in the same timeline that everybody else does because I'm ready to dive into Moon Knight.
Okay.
I've got through. We'll go over homework here just in a minute here, but I've got myself set up to where I think I knocked out enough stuff to where I can start that now. And I think about 6 episodes for Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And where does that? Since you watched all of it, I'm assuming at this point, correct?
Yeah.
And where do you rank that show amongst all the Marvel shows now?
Probably, definitely after Hawkeye.
Okay.
I think I liked Loki and WandaVision better with the initial views.
Okay. But I think you were saying, didn't you say WandaVision isn't holding up or something like that?
Yeah, I didn't feel like the first few episodes held up. When they actually dealt with what was going on rather than doing the sitcom stuff, it was much better.
Okay.
I thought it was better than Falcon and Winter Soldier and What If. I feel like I'm missing one still though. So it's middle of the pack.
Okay. But still worth my time to watch it.
Yes, there's a lot of very cool stuff in it.
And will they try to link him into the main universe?
I think they will somehow. I don't know how they will.
Okay. Is there any established characters that pop up in the show?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Let's see. All right. Well, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm ready for it. I just got to actually push the play button on it.
Yeah.
But, do you have any homework that you want to share?
Only thing is, I watched The Kids in the Hall, their new TV show on Amazon Prime.
They have a new show. Okay. Well, how was that?
I loved it.
Is Dave Foley involved with this one?
Yes, it's the original 5.
Original. Okay, great.
Yeah. So they bring back a lot of their old characters.
Okay.
So like the guy squishing the head is back for a skit. I just it felt like the same show just 20 years later, 30 years later,
okay.
however long it's been now. A lot of fun, totally worth it. 8 episodes, half an hour apiece.
Oh, easy to get through.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm going to let you run off right off the bat. I'm going to put Moon Knight on the front burner. And if I ever get to that one, I would. But so is that all the homework you got?
That's the only thing off the top of my head. I'll save whatever else for next week.
Okay, cool. I do actually have a little bit here. Let me go through it. I'll go through this stuff real quick on the stand-up. I watched a bunch of stand-up specials.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they're easier to listen to. It's more like listening to a podcast versus watching. I don't have to really see anything, so it's playing in the background. Tom Segura. I don't know if you're a fan of his at all.
Hit or miss.
His 4 specials on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
incredible. I'm a big fan now. I'd never watched anything of his before. Yeah, I've seen him on Rogan and podcasts, popping up there. He does along with Bert Kreischer. Yeah, I've never actually stopped to watch his stand-up specials, and they are hilarious. His delivery is fantastic. I really, really enjoy his stand-up. So he'd be one. He gets the if you ever came in town, would he get your money? Yeah, I'd go see him live, kind of thing. I rewatched Bert Kreischer's Big Boy special on Netflix, and that one, it was a rewatch, so it was great.
Yeah. Are you excited about his movie coming out, The Machine?
No, I'm not, because I don't think he needs I don't want him to have I want him to stick with podcast and stand up. Because The Machine, I'm going to guess they've somehow turned his life into a movie, and they're doing with him going to Russia and everything.
Yeah, I don't know the details of it, but I've heard about it. It sounds entertaining.
The story never gets old, and I just prefer him telling the story. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I get why they do it. He needs to capitalize on anything he can to make money. So I'm okay with it. I watched Nate Bargatze's. It's 2.5 specials on Netflix. He's great, really, really funny. Very Midwestern and down to earth kind of stuff that he talks about. So very relatable. So I recommend an order. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot Taylor Tomlin. I don't know if you know her. She's been on Conan, I think, before back in the day.
Yeah.
She's a good stand-up comic, and she really hits on mental health a lot. Yeah. Because she struggles with it, and it was interesting, But I'd seen her bits on Facebook and YouTube, like I seen them spread out, and the special puts them all together, and it was okay. It was okay. Yeah. The Segura stuff is what really impressed me the most, though. The specials, and then as far as movies and TV shows, I watched the Mythic Quest. I watched the episode that focuses on C.W. Longbottom, his origin story. I think that's the episode that you talk about that kind of just pops up in the middle of the show to kind of like It's that episode. I think you'll know what I mean when I say it that way.
Yes.
It was good, that one. And then I made it all the way through Severance, which is Apple TV's hot show right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you watch it so you have to experience what I did.
I've watched
you need to watch Severance.
I've watched it.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, you have watched the whole thing. I didn't know you went through the whole thing.
Yeah, I was ahead of you. I finished last week, I think.
Oh, my God. Have we just finished this weekend? I think it was or it might have been Monday. Can't remember. But holy hell. I'm like, you did not this should have been a miniseries. Don't make me wait for another season of this.
Well, I know, because you don't get a conclusion to the story.
No, not at all. You don't get anywhere near a conclusion. And you're still going, even at the end, I'm still going, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I can't figure this show out. It's driving me crazy. I can't figure it out.
What does the company do?
Yeah, I know. Exactly. So it's just one of those shows that you're watching it not because you like it. You're watching it because you want to solve the mystery and figure out what the hell's going on. So
and they did a really good job of a slow burn of revealing that there's something shady going on there.
Yeah, for sure. But all the actors in it do really well. John Turturro, he knocks it out of the park. And I find it funny. There's one character in there, and I go, that's the hot dog vendor from Spider-Man, dude. That's who that guy is. That's why I remember. What do you recognize that guy? I'm like, hot dog vendor, man.
And so the crazy thing about this is it's from Ben Stiller, and you would expect more comedy in it, being a Ben Stiller
there's
thing.
Nothing.
No,
the hot dog vendor guy, he gives you your levity every now and then.
He does, yes.
But for the most part, nothing funny in that show at all.
And
although the dance sequence was kind of weird and funny a little bit. That's before he turned into vampire guy, kind of a little bit.
And what's up with Christopher Walken?
I don't know. I don't really know. Oh, hi.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, we're still going. Right. And then let's see. I watched 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, hold on. Here, I'll be up in like 10 minutes. Okay.
Why?
I'll be up. Go. I'll be up. All right. So, Old. M. Night Shyamalan's Old.
I've not watched it.
You haven't watched it?
Kaylee
I thought you said Aaron watched it though. Didn't she?
They did.
Okay. I can't tell if it's worth your time or not. I really can't. I won't say it's good, and I won't say it's bad. It's just a movie. Yeah. It really is just a movie.
Which is a shame, because that's kind of what we expect on an M. Night at this point.
I just don't know what point he's trying to get across with this one, except for enjoy life and don't let it pass you by kind of thing? Is that the message he's trying to always get across? Because I wanted my twist, right? Yeah. I'm not really getting a twist from this thing. The whole movie was supposed to be a twist, I guess, with how weird of a premise it was, but okay. And then I'll do this one next. Deep Water. Have you heard of Deep Water?
I've heard of it.
It's on Hulu. It's with Affleck.
Yeah.
This movie should have been way better than what it was. And it's not. I want it to be really good. It was actually directed by the same guy. He does erotic thrillers, but there's no, this is not pornography by any means. This thing is very tame for a movie, to be honest with you. But he did Unfaithful. He did, I think he did Fatal Attraction.
Okay.
This is his niche, what he does as a director. And it should have been really good because Ben Affleck is actually really good in it.
Yeah.
Affleck can be so hit or miss. I always root for the guy, though. Yeah. I always think he can always be really great. And he was really good in this.
Because he was the bomb in Phantoms.
Of course. But this movie should have been better than what it was. That's all I can say about it. And I wanted it to be good. And it just didn't end that way. It's really weird. Yeah. But I want you to watch it. I think you'd actually enjoy it.
Okay.
And I think it's a good discussion piece. Except for the fact that we'll sit there and go, what was the point of all of it?
Yeah.
And I'm running into that with a lot of, again, with Old and Severance and Deep Water. I'm like, what are you trying to tell us?
Yeah.
Tell me what you want us to know. And then I watched a movie called Fresh. Did you hear of this one?
Is this like the 1992 gang movie?
Nope.
No. Then I don't think
Sebastian Stan. So Winter Soldier was in a movie. And if I say anything about it, I think it might spoil it.
Okay.
And it's a good. It's good. I liked it. It's not great, but good. It takes a little bit of a twist that you weren't maybe expecting, and it just ended kind of abruptly. And that's all I'll give you on that one. The ending wasn't very strong. It was an abrupt ending, but the whole build up the whole time was pretty good. He's fantastic in it. It's one of his better roles I've ever seen him in. To be honest with you. He did great. And then last two. I'll give you the good one, and then I'll give you the bad one. We'll end on that. Okay. Pig. We've been talking about Pig for a long time now.
I have not seen it yet.
I have about a half hour left of it. I couldn't get it done before we were going to talk tonight. Yeah. So, Nick Cage is actually really good in it.
That's what I've
really
heard.
Enjoying his performance. Think John Wick, but replace the dog with a pig, sort of.
Okay.
And I'll leave it at that. But he's not even John Wick. He doesn't have the John Wick assassination skills or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
But Nick Cage is just he's a big presence on the screen, but not over the top. He's really it's a subdued Nick Cage, but he's great in it. I think he should really lean into this kind of role.
Yeah.
Where he's the older guy on screen now, because he is the older guy on screen. I hope he kind of leans into this for more future roles.
Yeah.
He did such a great job. So I'm
okay for the kids to see, like no nudity or anything like that?
I'd have to finish it.
Okay.
But I don't think they'd like it. It's not really for the kids, to be honest with you. It's not John Wick, dude. This is not John. I'm trying to find a comparison for it, and it's not that. But they won't even like it, to be honest with you. I mean, you could watch it and maybe just prove me wrong. Go, oh, no, my kids would love it. They like these movies. I'm like, okay, well, then me and your kids need to start watching some movies as well.
My kids are a little twisted, so.
Okay, yeah. So this thing's not twisted. It's not twisted at all. It's just not. I don't know what they would enjoy about it. But you give it a watch. I mean, you've been talking about you're going to watch it. I'm giving you the thumbs up. Give it a watch. And then the other movie I didn't finish, because I didn't finish this one either, was Matrix Resurrection.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
We watched it the weekend it came out.
Then you went to the theater?
No, we didn't. We watched it on HBO Max.
Okay, so you stayed home. So good. I'm glad you stayed home for it.
Yeah, because after 2 and 3, they had their moments, but I just didn't have high hopes for it.
No. God, this thing is a train wreck from the beginning, dude.
Yeah.
It is not a good movie. And I have an hour left, and I'm an hour and a half into the movie, Jay. Yeah. This is a 2.5 hour movie, and it doesn't end. It just doesn't ever end. So
I like Neil Patrick Harris, but him as the bad guy just doesn't work.
Okay. And so I don't know if I'm going to go back and finish it. Here's the upsetting part about it the most, is even if it's a bad story, if it had good action in it,
Yeah.
I'd be okay with it. The fight choreography is lame. There's nothing entertaining about this movie.
So we were spoiled with the first movie and how groundbreaking it was.
Yeah.
And then they did really cool stuff in 2 and 3, but I don't feel like they did anything to push the effects forward like they did with the other movies.
I don't think there's a story here. There's no story to tell. I think the Wachowski sisters now, they were desperate for a movie. They didn't have anything fresh. They went back to the well. They could say they had more to say about the characters.
They didn't say anything new about the characters, though, really.
They didn't. At least not yet. I still have an hour to go. But if you haven't really caught my attention, hour and a half into the movie, still, what's this freaking movie for? Why did you even bother making it? Other than they're going for the nostalgia grab.
Yes,
right.
And I think that was what it was. And
that's awful.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
okay
the selling
with that.
point.
I think that's garbage to be honest with you. So far, it's getting a hot garbage rating for me. And
so
I don't know if I'm going to waste my time. I don't know if I'll go back on it.
So Neil Patrick Harris and nostalgia. What was the Christmas movie with the Nintendo?
8-Bit. 8-Bit Christmas.
Yes, 8-Bit Christmas was perfect nostalgia.
Yeah.
But trying to take the same idea and rehashing it exactly the same way just doesn't work. You need something fresh about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. I think Keanu's fine in it.
Yeah.
I actually like his performance so far. And Trent, she's beautiful. She's a beautiful woman still. And her performance is the same that she was in the other 3 movies, which is fine. You know, it's nothing groundbreaking on her part, but she's good. She's good for the role. That's her character. She owns it. You know, I could never see anybody else in that role. But
I couldn't believe that was Jada Pinkett Smith as the same character.
And she's tainted now. Every time and Jen's just like, ugh, her. Yeah. I'm like, well, you know, she still is an actress, and she was in the original franchise. I mean, and she was fine in the original one. Yeah. But now she's just like, oh, her. She's tainted, man. She's really tainted.
Neo, that robot's making a joke about me. Go smack it.
So I just, this was what I was itching to get to, was Matrix. I felt the need that I'm so angry that I'm an hour and a half into a movie that's supposed to be The Matrix, where I hold it in high regard as a great sci-fi movie.
Yes.
And even if you don't like 2 and 3, which again, I think you and I agree, we can find things we like about it.
Yeah.
Just utter garbage. Oh, it's making me so mad just thinking about it. This movie was not needed. It really. It couldn't have made any money at the theater. I know it got released.
Oh, right? No, I don't think it did, because everyone watched it on HBO.
I could have sworn it got released, but
I think everyone. I think everyone was in the same mindset of the last 2 movies were garbage, so let's just watch it for free instead of going to the theater.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Maybe the theater experience would have done something for it, like the Batmobile stuff, but
there's no action in it for it to need it.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a Batmobile scene in this movie that we need the theater for. So there's at least not yet. Like I said, I still got an hour, so maybe I'll find something, but it's just not needed.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, just so disappointed in it.
Yeah,
I think we're matrixed out because, man, they have bled this franchise to death. You had the original trilogy. You've got the Animatrix, which the animated cool thing that they did.
Yeah.
You've got the Matrix video game that they came out with. I'm like, guys, you have bled this thing to death. Let it go. It's done. Let the original Matrix live in history where it belongs as a breakthrough film.
Yeah.
That thing was as original as it'll ever get. You created a new way of filming something. Hold your hat on that, hang your hat on that. Love it for what it is, but it's time to just stop.
Yeah.
Going back to the well and let it go. Ugh.
Yep.
Not happy with it. So other than that, that's all I got for you. I'm looking forward to finishing Pig, and then after that, I think I'm gonna have to hop on over to Moon Knight, or I'll try to finish Mythic Quest. Yeah. I'll probably do Moon Knight. So.
You should go hate watch the end of Matrix.
Say what?
Go hate watch the end of Matrix.
No, go watch the. Man. That'd be one of our movies that we'd have to do, and yeah, maybe that's the podcast we could come up with instead of doing instead of doing our rip-off version of Mystery Science, and like watching like Velocipaster and crappy movies like that, maybe we should just go hate watch bad movies and be angry about why that's been made.
That could be good.
I'm just so angry at this movie. But I got no other homework. I don't think.
All right.
Got another homework for you. I think that's it. I think that's a wrap for you then, sir.
I think so. That's good because I'm gonna piss my pants in a minute.
That's the name of the episode. Jay is gonna piss his pants off. All right, man. Until next time. I'll see you.
See you. Thanks for listening. You can find us on our website, Nyrdcast.com. It's NYRDCAST. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube by searching @Nyrdcast. This week's song is Lonely by Pulley.
I knew a guy who played pretend, feel that he was near the end. Time was running out and he could feel the end of the road. Politics and talking trash, finding something else to bash. He always had an army of followed wannabes up his ass. When they drop down to their knees, understand the reality. It doesn't even matter what anybody ever really thinks. And he goes through the size of stakes. The efforts made, they seem too late. The power and the glory fades away when no one cares. And all alone you knew you would bring someone like you could to hang out with you and listen to you talk throughout the night. And when they drop down to their knees, I understand the realities. The fame and fortune ran out your side. We all knew it would. Kept it to yourself.